Welcome back. So that was a super interesting article. Did you like it, John?
It was super interesting.
I really like a new justification for my use of sarcasm.
Yes.
So as you read in the article, teenagers are notorious for their sarcasm. They perhaps don't use it as younger children, but as they're maturing into the teenage years, they become a bit less gullible and they start to understand complex thinking and more complex humor, complex situations. So they tend to overdo the sarcasm a little bit. I have had experience of that myself. I used to teach children, teenagers. It's quite shocking. But the great thing about this article was that maybe we shouldn't criticize teenagers for using sarcasm so much because it can be a kind of brain training activity for them. It can give them more agile brains as they mature. So something along the lines of a mind gym, I was thinking. So perhaps it could be a good sign if your teenager is using a lot of sarcasm.
Yeah, don't judge them too quickly.
Yeah. And their adoring parents maybe can relax a little bit. It doesn't necessarily mean their teenager is cruel.
No, and you can join along.
Absolutely, yeah.
They shoot sarcasm at you, shoot it right back. I was looking to be sarcastic when I said it was interesting. However, I actually do think it was interesting because at first I expected this just to be a bash on sarcasm. Like, oh, it's terrible, blah, blah, blah. And it was refreshing to see that it had a positive spin and even maybe a little bit more medical ideas behind it, which I was not at all thinking of.
Absolutely.
What is the thing I'm thinking of now? I was not at all privy to prior to this article.
Yeah, I had never read this research, but yeah, it was encouraging.
Were you pretty sarcastic as a teenager? Like, what kind of maybe comments did you make?
Perhaps I wasn't the most sarcastic teenager compared to people I knew, but I think, especially to my close friends, yeah, I was. And to my parents, but less so. I think my parents just would not tolerate it from me. Don't be rude.
Don't be rude.
So yeah, I had to be very sparing with my
You even got the look down.
Yes, I have to picture my mother looking at me.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about you? Were you sarcastic?
I definitely, like again, with friends, sarcastic. Parents, my dad doesn't quite get sarcasm the best, so I would definitely use it with him more than I should as a teenager. My mom would get it and my dad wouldn't, and I thought that was the funniest thing. I feel bad for my dad now, but at the time it was great fun.
Do you remember if you were mortified by your parents during your teenage years? You know, can you recall any embarrassing moments?
Oh boy, I wasn't super mortified by them. I don't think I had those circumstances too much, but I do know that on the inside I had some cringe. On the inside I had some mortification. Because what would happen is after I started working as a food service employee, I noticed there are certain customers that are difficult and certain customers that are easier, and my parents might have been on the difficult side. And that definitely made me a bit embarrassed when we went out for eating.
I see.
Yeah. Was that a nice way to put it?
That was very diplomatic, John.
If my parents watch this, are they okay?
I think they would be proud of you. I think for my dad particularly, I think he had heard that teenagers are often mortified by their parents. So he played into that stereotype. He would try to mortify me in front of my friends. So again, I desperately did not want to be manipulated, and proved how mature and adult I was, and desperately tried not to show my embarrassment when he attempted.
Ha ha, Dad, ha ha ha. Yeah.
So now let's take a look at some of the vocabulary we've met in this article.
Profoundly.
Profoundly.
Along the lines of.
Along the lines of.
Mortify.
Mortify.
adolescent,
adolescent,
gullible,
gullible,